which we like to call the pizza icon, because this little triangle here looks like a slice of pizza, and we love eating basically. So if you click here on the media library, you will see that we have a lot of different categories in the media library. We have images, we have videos, 3D scenes, here we have the tools, but we also have digital lessons, books and exercise books, and even we can install or import PDF or HTML files. 5 files. So I would like to start with an image, and I think I already downloaded it to my computer. And with this, I would like to show you that teachers have basically infinite versions of using content. So they can search on the internet, they can use our library of pictures, videos, etc. But they can also use their own already existing notes, pictures, presentation slides. So basically, there are really infinite combinations of using those different elements. So I would like to start with this little friendly face, and to add it to my slide, I can just very easily drag and drop the picture. If I would like to resize it, I can click and hold it and put it in the center. Just like this. Okay, what else I would like to do with this one? Let's go to the 3D scenes and use the MozaBook library, and let's search for the keyword hearing, because we are going to learn about the hearing process, the human ear, and the sense of balance. So if I search for the keyword here, you can see that there's a lot of different 3D things connected to this keyword, just like the heart attack, because the first part is here, as it is in the ear and the mechanism of hearing. Okay, let me open up this 3D scene with the double click. And now you will be able to see that why I call these 3D scenes, not 3D objects, because all of the 3D scenes in our media library following the same logical order. We are always start with a big picture, like the mechanism of hearing, and we go into deeper and smaller details of that given topic. So if we go deeper and deeper, and we end up at the organ of Corti. And we always end up the 3D scenes with a quiz and an animation, which is a narrated animation. So if I start this.
Sound is the vibration of air perceived by our ears. Healthy ears can perceive sound waves of frequencies from a...
You can listen to a narration, and actually you are able to read the information that's in the narration. So for example, if a student in the classroom have hearing difficulties, they can also read the information, and vice versa. If someone cannot read because they cannot see very well, they can listen to the narration. But not only that, we can create exercises out of the 3D scenes. So for example, as I opened up the information part, I can click here in this little test icon, which you already seen in the tools, because this is the icon of the test editor. If I click here, I can pick the different type of exercise types that I can choose from this particular label of the 3D scene. But I would like to go with the gap filling version. And now I am able to highlight different parts of the article, and I think the first two parts is enough for a quick test as a homework for my students. So I would like to generate an exercise out of it. And now, as you can see, I didn't really have to create an exercise by myself. I just needed to use the 3D scene itself, and now I have a ready-made exercise for my students. But I think it's not enough. So let's go back to the ossicles, and I would like to create another one. So let's go with the matching exercise, and I would like to, yes, use this one and click on generate. And here on my already existing test sheet, now I have two different exercises because the software knows that I would like to create a longer test sheet, so it combined the two different exercises together. Now I just have to use this little pin icon so I can save and insert it to my presentation slide. So right now I have a very good looking picture in the center, and I also have a homework for my students. So what can I do here? I can type in that this is going to be the homework for today, and deadline is next Thursday. I am very nice. I give you 1 week to solve the exercise. So now I have it. Add some extra here so I can just write in a little arrow here, and now you can see that this will be the homework. Okay, let's use something else, because as I said, if I open this 3D scene back up, I am able to insert some of the 3D scenes into the presentation as a 3D object. And I would like to use these, use this particular model. So as you can see, I have this little icon here, and if I click there, I can drag and drop the 3D object into my presentation. I am able to move it around to make sure that it's in the perfect place in my presentation. And now I can adjust the size of it. And basically, I am ready to show my students that this is your ear in a very, very real looking 3D object. So this is just something that also looks very cool in the classroom, but basically the teaching effect is not in these objects but in the 3D scenes itself. But we have a lot of different 3D scenes and digital lessons in this topic. So I would like to add something else, because this is not enough. I want to show you something else. I can do, for example, click on the ear and the mechanism of hearing and drag and drop the 3D scene and add it to my picture. And as you can see, it added the content here. So if I click on the picture, it will open up the 3D scene. So this is also something very easy to create and very creative solution for adding an extra interactive layer to your presentations. And what else can I do? So if I go back to the pictures, and now I would like to use the MozaBook library. So I would like to go with the keyword ear. I have a lot of different things here, but we can also use the ear from a web search, or we can click on Moza Gallery and type in the ear. So we can choose a picture from MozaBook's own picture gallery. I would like to go with this one. I like this, but I would like to make it much smaller and put it here, because this will be a little link to my different content connected to the topic. So I would like to duplicate it and add 3 more content to this slide. So let's go again with here. Oh, here we have sense of balance, and I can add this to my little picture. And I can also go with the middle ear infection, which is also a very important thing to understand and to know regarding the hearing process. But we not only have 3D scene, let's go with a digital lesson. And here we have, for example, how do we hear? We can add this digital lesson as well. So as you can see, in this one single slide, we have a 3D object. We have the connected 3D scenes. We already created a homework for our students and also added 2 connected 3D scene and a connected digital lesson to the topic. But we haven't used any tools and games so far. So what can we do? Open up the media library again under the pizza icon. And I would like to use one of the pictures that I downloaded to my laptop. Let's drag and drop it, and I don't like that it's facing on the side, so let's flip it horizontally and place it in the corner. But well, this doesn't look very good, right? Because it has this white background. So as I said, we can edit the pictures itself. So I open up the picture editor and I would like to cut out the background and basically just insert in the presentation again. No, I don't want to save the changes, but now as you can see, it looks much more cooler because it doesn't have that annoying white background anymore. So with this conductor, I can create my own orchestra, and why not? So I can use the tools from our tools and games folder and add all of the connected music tools that we have in the library. But how can I open up the tools? If I click on this little hammer icon, which called tools, surprisingly, you can open up the tools, the quiz, and the games folders at the same time because they are placed in the same section but in different folders, and you can click back and forth between the three categories. But what can I do? Pick the subject and go with the music section. And basically now I can insert all of the different instruments that we have in the library. So if I click on the rhythm box, with this one, I can create my own rhythmical patterns and I can start playing the music. But now I just want to pin it into the presentation as a large icon, and this orchestra can be a really, really fun game for the students at the very beginning of the lesson or by the end of the lesson when they are so tired learning new information, and we can basically just shake things up a little bit with these tools. So I would like to insert a xylophone as well. And let's go with a metronome just to make sure that they can keep the rhythm nicely. Okay, I close this by mistake, so I would like to add it as a large icon. Yes, I was too fast with this. Okay, and now we can insert it very well. So basically, I am ready with my slide, and this one slide can be used for a full 45-minute lesson about the human ear and the hearing process. And I think this one only took 5 or 6 minutes maybe. And as you can see, I learned it very easily and I found all of the content very easily that I wanted to put in the presentation, and I didn't really have to understand how to use very complicated softwares because it was very intuitive as you saw it. Like basically you just have to drag and drop all of the content that you are interested in using. Okay, if I have these two exercise test sheet here, I can basically just close this down and I can click here with the right mouse button and I can assign it as a homework. And this can also work as an exam. So if I click here and assign it as a homework, I can send it out, I can add keywords to that, and I can upload it to MozaWeb, which means that now it's shared on an institutional level. If I click here and OK it, you will see that now I have a new homework window in the center, which means that I can create an exercise sheet which can be used as an exam sheet as well. Why is that? Because if I add the different exercises, you will see that in the different sheets, I have 3 exercises, 1 exercise, and 2 exercises. I can add the subject. In this case, this is biology and grade 8. So I can add more exercises if I have more, for example, by clicking on my exercises, or I can just go with the already existing 3-1 that I added already. Now, if I click on the next, I can choose basically the classes or the students groups that I would like to share the exam with. And I would like to add, for example, one of my colleague. I think I can find him here. No, this is a group. And this one will be, let's go with Christoph. And if I pick him, now you can see we have Christoph here as a separate student, and also the Avengers April 2023 group, which contains three other colleagues of mine and myself. So now I can go to the next step, which is sending out the homework and assign it to my students. And basically, I can just change the name to biology exam first. So this will be the first biology exam of the year, and this will be subject biology, and the start date is today, 10:40, which is not really relevant at the moment, but let's say that they can start it at 3 o'clock. Yes, and we can solve this exam until 3:50. So now I added a very, very short time frame. So now this is not a homework anymore. This is an exam. And I can add instructions. Please make sure to answer all of the questions and submit the exam sheet by the deadline. Time limit, 45 minutes. So now I can send it out, and they will be able to start the exam at 3 o'clock sharp, and the deadline is 3:45. And basically now I created an exam for them. And I will be able to check the homework, how many of them solved it already, and how many of them basically pass the exam, because I can also share the limitations of the exam, which is an A, B, C, D grade, or as it is in Hungary, one is a 4, one is a 1. What is a 1, which is the worst grade, or which one is a 5, which is the best grade. And I can also grade the exams there, and the software or the platform will notify them about the results. So if I go and check homework, you can see I have previous assignments here. And for example, I created Hungarian ones or 4 English ones for a history lesson for a previous webinar before. And if I click here on the assignment, you will see the deadline and all the important information. And if I click on the test itself, I can see the Excel sheet that I created. So if I want to reassign it to another group, I can always check if it's basically good for me or not. If I click on the little icon of the test sheet, I can also make an edit or the evaluation. So if I click on the evaluation, you will see all of the students that solved the questions. You will see how many percentage that they earned on one given exercise. And now you can see that I